I want to tell you the rest of my story. How I came to be in this reality with you. But I want you to promise not to judge me.
I won't judge you.
I have come to understand certain things. Things I know to be true. Things that I know others wouldn't understand unless they had experienced them. Before I can begin my story, I need you to understand the basics of how I have come to understand the universe. The link between our bodies and physical space is strong, but it is nothing compared to the link between our minds and physical space. Our bodies exist as a visual representation of our minds. They are nothing more. Every mind has the capability of transcending physical form. Many do, even if they don't realize it. The very nature of physical reality is very unphysical. Humans have evolved to ignore the complexities and realities of the universe by using physical form to protect them from the harshness of existence. The very nature of being is to be in pain, is to long for and to be unfulfilled. To cope, we developed corporeal form. The use of physical form is not unlike leaving the light off at all times, obstructing the undesirables in the room. Do you understand what I'm saying so far?
More or less. Please, continue.
When I entered your reality, I was a much different person than I am now. My reality was much worse than this one. I was a girl who was entirely lost. From a young age, people thrust their expectations on me. They believed I was destined for artistic greatness. I was a child prodigy in many ways. I had peaked by my early teens, and I was no longer able to perform or create at a level that could match the adults around me. I was, for all intents and purposes, a disappointment. Picture for a moment being a young girl who can't do wrong. Everything I created, everything I said impressed those around me. I was the perfect child artist, but that's all I ever was. When I became an adult, my body grew, but my artistry remained childlike. I considered quitting piano, considered removing myself from art altogether, but something pulled me back. Somewhere along the course of my life, I had developed an artist's mentality. I knew I wasn't a good adult artist, but I was still compelled to create. And with each new thing I tried, I continued to disappoint those around me. It was May 22nd, 1996, when I met the man who would fix this for me. At 3:02 a.m., I walked into a music club in the city. He was on stage, playing to a small but enthusiastic audience. Each note he played on his guitar seemed to tell me something that I had always known but had never really understood. After he finished, I knew that I had to speak with him. It wasn't before long that we became both romantically and artistically involved. It was as if knowing him had somehow broken the seal around my mind that was preventing me from creating something worthwhile. The lack of refinement to his playing freed me from the confines of rhythmic and artistic regularity. I don't mean to suggest that he was lacking in technical refinement, just that a certain jubilation came through in his playing that I had never experienced. Our relationship was like a whirlwind of physical and emotional affection. Never had I given myself to someone so literally and spiritually before. Together, we wrote A Distant Voice, and I knew that I still had the hopes of being not only a good artist, but an interesting human being. Something terrible happened on May 22nd of 1997. At 3:02 p.m., his daughter had come home and found us together. He hadn't yet told his children about me. I was a much younger woman. He followed her out and into a coffee shop. I waited for them to return, hating myself more and more for entering his life and making it difficult. I waited there until 3:02 a.m., completely beside myself. And the strange thing is, he never returned. He never came back into his own apartment. I stayed there for a few days, knowing he'd have to come back eventually. And he simply never did. I called his friends, I called his manager, and they all said they hadn't seen him. Just like that, he slipped through the cracks of my reality and never returned.
And you never saw him again?
I did. It was May 22nd, 1998, 12:01 p.m. A minute into the first concert I had put on since his disappearance. I had refused to do our music live or release A Distant Voice until I had seen him again. Finally, legal pressure forced me to schedule a release for May 22nd, 1999, with a year-long tour to promote it. I watched in terror from behind my piano as he wrapped his arm around a girl even younger than I. This girl was not his daughter, though she was probably his daughter's age. I left the stage and receded into myself. The man who placed his arms around that young woman was not the same man who placed his arms around me so many times. It couldn't have been. The man I knew would not have put on such a display of affection, knowing it could hurt someone so much. It was in that moment that I longed to leave my reality behind, to sever my ties to my physical form and exist in a different space for many days, nights, minutes, seconds. I sat in my bed, slowly drifting further into my own depression, slowly pulling my mind from my body. When the separation happened, it was almost immediate. It was so sudden that the painful moments leading up to it felt trivial. I was just my mind, and I had left my physical body behind. I floated until I found a reality that seemed different from mine. Hoping to find a reality that contained the him I knew. Hoping that he had fallen into this reality, and we could be together again.
Was his voice the one we heard on the record?
No, it wasn't. I don't know whose voice we heard. I was so nervous sharing that music with you guys, I almost didn't realize it wasn't me singing.
Well, everyone loved it. It was amazing.
Really? I can never tell what people think when I show them my songs. Well, what should we do now?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I think I misread that situation.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Let's go back inside and whatever. Just not that whatever.
Fine. Hey, so, look, I gotta go away for a while. I don't know when I'm coming back. Yeah, things will...
For everyone, time is measured differently. For myself, it was in days since Sammy had been missing. For Michael, it was days until school began and he lost his freedom. For Vela, time was measured in music. A careless and overwhelming existence where the oral world carried more weight than the physical world. For Claudio and Rory, it was days since their siblings vanished from their lives. For Chandra, I think it was days until she could escape counting days since her little brother's disappearance. But for all of us, time moved at the same rate, calculating days until we found a way to feel important.
Should I play it?
Yeah, we've come this far. It'd be stupid not to do it.
I'm ready, guys. I feel like something exciting is about to happen.
Hopefully this isn't a mistake.
Worst comes to worst, we made the world a little better with some beautiful music.
Just do it already.
Witness. Witness.
Are you guys okay? What just happened?
Holy shit! Did you guys see that?
See what exactly? You guys put on the record and went into an epileptic fit!
It would have been funny in any other context.
I did see it. It was amazing.
It was the woman made of plastic that I've been dreaming about.
Woman made of plastic? What does that mean, Alex?
She's like an android or something, but she's like plastic.
That's happened to you before?
Yeah, like once or twice. It's been a recurring dream or something.
But the entities that were behind the camera, she destroyed them so easily, and that wasn't Banish she was using.
Do you think she's still in danger? She was stuck in the van.
If she could destroy the entities so easily, I don't think there's much danger she could be in.
But we need to find her! That's why the entity who was living with me had us play the record, right? To wake her up!
I agree. You're right, but what's actually going on here? What is she?
You okay?
Yeah, I am. But forget it, never mind. I can't really explain it yet. It's just a feeling. Give me some time, and maybe I'll be able to put it into words.
So, what's the plan here? Do we just go and try and find the van this mysterious android is in?
If only we could have seen the outside of the van, then we'd at least know what we're supposed to be looking for.
Hey, Alex, do you have a minute?
What's up?
I was wondering if we could go somewhere and talk for a bit. There's been something on my mind, and yeah.
So, what's wrong?
Well, I don't know. I've just had a lot on my mind lately, and
Take your time, man.
well, I've just been really depressed lately, thinking about my sister, my parents, just how much life is going to change from now on. My sister was a lot younger than me, but she really was my best friend, and now she's gone. I feel aimless. We had plans, things we wanted to do in the future, places we wanted to go, movies that we wanted to see, new games to play together, and now none of that will happen. Sometimes I wish... You know what I mean, right?
Bad things happen, but life has to move on, right? You don't have your sister anymore, but you have all of us. Michael, me, Vela, Chandra, Claudio. We can't replace your sister, but we're happy that you're still here. If you had become a soul survivor, then we never would have met you, and that's really depressing. I'm not the best with these sort of things, but basically I'm saying I'm happy we met you.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. This is awkward. Let's go find the android or something. Hey! No! Yeah, don't do that again.
Sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. Look, it's not like you're not cool, I'm just not into you that way.
Yeah, I get it. Sorry. I don't think I've ever loved a woman before. Not romantically, at least. I love my mother, I love my sister, my cousins, my female friends. I love them, but not in the way that's filled with a romantic sense of love. I've had 7 girlfriends throughout college and high school. None of them lasted long, and I never minded when things were over. Something funny happened that night when I went to bed. I had a dream again. Yes, it was about the android, but she wasn't trapped inside a moving van. She was free and human. In my dream, I knew her very well. We'd been together for a long time. We weren't old. We didn't get old. I knew inside my heart how well she treated me. I knew, for the first time, she was the only woman I'd ever treated well. Inside my dream world, she entered my dreams. She entered my thoughts. She filled up every part of my mind, even the parts I wanted to hide away. She was like the old Bruce Lee quote, "Be like water." She was my water, rushing into all the cracks. Nothing could be hidden from her, but I didn't mind. She didn't judge. She didn't have a place to judge. She, unlike all other humans, was aware of human flaws. She didn't pretend we didn't think about hatred, violence, jealousy, sex. It was a person. She got that. You know, if only she was too. She is, and always will be, a woman made of plastic. I know how funny this sounds. Trust me, I do. How can a woman made of plastic be loved so much by a real flesh and blood human? I woke up the next morning in a cold sweat. What was I feeling? It was like a warm light surrounded me. Someone had flipped a switch in my brain, and I now understood something I wasn't capable of understanding before. I felt a weird joy inside me, like I had a secret no one else was allowed to know. A secret that was meant only for my ears. And it was the android who told me. But I couldn't. I tried to recall the dream, but it was already slipping away to the periphery of my mind. I couldn't remember specific scenes, but I could remember the feeling the dream had given me, and I knew they wouldn't be leaving me. I thought about Michael, then Rory, then Claudio, then Chandra. I had no desire to see any of them. I thought about Vela, and Sammy, and I felt weird, like I had done something wrong, as if I had wronged them somehow in the dream. And just like that, suddenly I needed to see Vela. But why? Why did I suddenly have the urge to apologize? No, that wasn't it. Thank her? No, I don't know why. But I needed to find her and do it alone.
I love the fall, but sometimes I hate it. Does that make sense? Of course it doesn't. Probably because I get so sad to see it go. I like Thanksgiving, that's always fun. But like, Christmas? That's always depressing. The celebration always makes me feel uncomfortable. Like, are you really happy, or are you just pretending because it's Christmas?
I never thought of it that way. I love the fall too. It always meant seeing my friends again, but I guess starting school again sucks. You know, I haven't thought about school since like last winter or spring, whenever it was. I don't miss tests or any of that shit, but I miss learning. I was good at school. I'm not a genius, but I'm great at writing, philosophy, psych. I don't think I'm great at anything that helps real life, though. Maybe dreaming. I have a lot of dreams. Things I want to happen. Now, if only they'd be grounded in reality.
What's that thing they say about dreams and poets?
We're sad sacks.
Something like that.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Go for it, Ginger Boy.
What was your world like? The one you came from?
You know, I don't think anyone has asked me that since I've been here. Wow. I try not to think about my old reality, but it really wasn't all that bad. Things are mostly the same. We had more cows, though. Lots of cows. And the music? Different. Your metal is our pop. Isn't that weird? My mother would love your thrash metal. We also didn't say the 90s. We called it the end times. Isn't that funny? We all joked that 2000 would be the end of the world. That and... well, this is gonna sound weird, but we don't look at death the same way. In this reality, death is like giving up or making a mistake. How can you fault someone for dying? We all publicly acknowledge that when someone dies, you're sad for yourself, not for them. That, and...
What is it?
we can call our dead. When my grandmother passed away, I was 12. I've spoken to her once a month for the past 12 years. There are phones, special phones. You put in money, dial the social security number of your loved one, and for 3 minutes, you can speak to them. You can talk to them about anything, with one exception. Under no circumstances are you allowed to ask about where they are and how they're feeling. If you do, they lose their phone privileges forever, and you have a 10-year hold on your account.
What? Like, for real?
Yes. And we never dream. I didn't know about dreams when I first came here. I had my first dream the night before I met you.
Must be fate.
We also don't have fate where I come from. I think we never put ourselves in that sort of box. You take away your own freedom by even pretending things like that might exist.
What did you see when you traversed the soul space? What was it like?
I don't have the talent with words to explain it. It's something you should see for yourself.
What? Leave my body? I don't think I could ever.
Maybe not, but... Okay, look at it this way. Before I traveled the soul space, I was a different person. Someone who got hurt by someone. Someone who believed they were loved unconditionally. When I was out there, I realized unconditional love exists, but only as something to strive for. It's just a concept. There's no way to actually put it into practice. We can say we love someone unconditionally, and we can act like we do, but it's not to judge people for what they did to you or someone else. To accept someone for being human.
Accept someone for being human? I know what you mean, but isn't that funny? Coming from a human? We're all human. We all have flaws, we all hurt each other, but is that the thing to be fixated on? And I do believe unconditional love exists.
Oh? Have you felt it before then?
So what if I have?
From who? What's her name?
I don't know. It's just, I had this dream. And in this dream, I was loved unconditionally. Whoever loved me loved my flaws and loved my mistakes as much as they loved the things worth making me loved. Is that so hard to believe?
Sounds like a dream. So, who was she? Spit it out. Was it Sammy Park?
No, I don't think so. Maybe it was. Maybe it was you. Maybe it was the android in the van. Maybe it was all three of you as one being.
Well, I think you're a lazy ass half the time, so I don't think I'm the one to love you unconditionally. But yes, keep chasing the missing girl who entered the soul space. I'm sure when you finally find her, she'd love you unconditionally.
Hey, that's not fair. Also, Sammy is out there. She isn't in the soul space. I can feel her out there.
Maybe you're feeling her out there in the soul space.
Maybe. So, Vella, what the hell are we gonna do about finding the android? She's trapped in the van and...
Calm down. You haven't checked Honest in 1999 today, have you? Rory made a thread pointing out a mysterious van in all the most recent and believable posts. And here's a strange one for you. In one of the photos of Sammy Park, there's a van. He asked everyone who sees the van to reply to the thread and post a location so we can check it out.
Wait, are you serious? How did I not see this? Holy crap. Okay, I need to go back and check. Wow, this is perfect. So that means she's around here then.
Well, I mean, vans have wheels, so it could be far away, but yeah, it could be.
We're gonna need a car. How else can we catch up to it? Do you have a car?
No. You're forgetting I've lived in this reality for a year. How do you expect me to even have a license? I don't even have a social security number, and I make minimum wage at an arcade.
Damn. I wonder if Mom would let me borrow hers.
Claudio has a van. You could ask him if he'd drive you around. He's a cool guy. He's a bit older than us, so it makes sense. I think he's in his late 20s. You should spend some time with him and Chandra, really get to know them first. Not usually a good idea to ask for rides unless you really know someone. At least where I come from.
Yeah, good idea. You know, this is gonna sound a bit weird. Lately, I felt like I don't even know my own reality. The more I think about it, nothing is as I remembered. When I was a kid, things felt different. Pre-college Alex's life was so much more simple. I never noticed all these things, all these strange things.
That's how I felt right before I left my reality. Maybe you're starting to get it, whatever it is.
on drugs. This is your brain on drugs. 1199! No, wait, don't! No, wait, don't! No, wait, don't! This is your brain on drugs! 1199! No, wait, don't! 1199!
Your face is screwed up in this window. Your face is screwed up in this window.
Did you find out the question, Alex? No. You're such a disappointment. Boy, can you do any damn thing right! Get out! Get out of my face! I hate you! I hate you so much! Just go away! Get out! Who are you to vex me with your perpetual idiocracy? Don't you dare run unless you find the question! Silly, pathetic, worthless piece of filth.
Your face is screwed up in this window. Your face is screwed up in this window.
Hey, Claudio. What's going on, man?
Just enjoying my day off. Beautiful sun, awesome scent of burgers in the area. It's a pretty nice town, man.
Yeah, Franklin's all right. Days off at the record store must be great. I never worked retail, but I imagine it blows.
Oh, well, I don't really work at the record store. I own it. Didn't you know?
You own it? What?
Yeah, I own all the record stops. I opened the first one when I was 19, about 9 years ago. My grandfather passed away and left me a bit of money. I put the money down, got a business loan, and the rest is history. Every time you buy a record, I see some profits. Pretty sweet deal if I do say so myself.
I had no idea. No wonder you have such a tubular ride, man.
Living the dream, Alex. Living the dream. So what's up, man? What are you up to today?
Well, I wanted to ask you if you drive when we go to look for the android. Rory put up a post on Honism 1999 about it, and apparently sightings have been flooding in. Once we get a credible hit, you down to go?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. That was smart of Rory. Have you seen him around?
No. I wonder if he went back home yesterday.
No idea. Make sure you let me know when you're ready to go, okay? sick beats. Check out my sick beats. Check out my sick beats.
Right in the manhole! I said no anchovies! Right in the manhole! Oh, shot! Righteous! Go to shell!
Huh!
Ow! Oh, shot! Right in the manhole! Righteous! Check out my heartbeats! Right in the manhole! Shot!
Your face is screwed up in this window. Your face is screwed up in this window.
Have you found the Dungeon Master? He's tricky to find. Tell me, have you been enjoying your time in the Dungeon of the Mind? It can be overwhelming, never knowing if you're making the right choice, afraid to act, because the paralyzing fear that you've chosen wrong. I chose wrong once. I want to go away. Far away. Just to get out of here. To be on my own. Well, not here. That's how I wound up here. Inside the Dungeon of the Mind. I had a mom, but no dad. Mom got weird when Dad left. Things were fine for a while. But before I knew it, life had changed so much there was little to be happy for. So I cried myself to sleep every night. I screamed every night. I tried running away. Never got very far. And you know what? I got away once. Far away. But I came back. I felt terrible that my mom was left all alone. So I went back. When I got home, things were better for a while. Then they got worse. Screaming, throwing things. Accidentally on purpose, blowing out the pilot light on the stove. So I willed myself to escape. And I got far away. Did I make the right choice? No. I'm asking you! Did I make the right choice? Is this better? Did I screw up? I can't ever leave you now! All I can do is stay here and count on the Dungeon Master's thoughts! Do you realize how many thoughts he has? I need to get out. Can you help me get out? Didn't think so. Of course you can't. You're trapped here too. Just like me.
Your face is screwed up in this window. Your face is screwed up in this window.
identified